time being 7:15, and this being the first meeting of the Planning Commission for 2025, this is Christopher Stephen, I'm the city attorney. I will begin this meeting and with a public hearing with the election of officers for the 2025 year. So I'd ask for Mrs. to please call the roll. All right, we're sorry.
Okay. Kevin.
Present.
Mark.
Here.
Alan.
Here.
Tom. Dick. Ken.
Here.
Rodney.
Here.
Having a quorum, I will now open the floor for the role of president. So any nominations for the position of president of the Planning Commission for the year 2025?
I would nominate Kevin Finkel. Second.
I have a nomination, seconded, Ken seconded, so Dr. King nominated first, Mr. Dory seconded. Are there any other nominations? Hearing no other nominations, Mr. Fleetwood, will you accept the nomination?
Yes.
Mr. Fleetwood, having accepted the nomination, is there any additional comments or discussion related to this nomination? Hearing none, I would entertain a motion to approve Kevin Fleetwood as president for the 2025 year. So moved by Mr. Dornick. Any second?
Second.
Second by, I'll say, Dr. King. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. It passes. Mr. President, it is up to you to elect the rest of the officers.
Okay. This time I'd like to take nominations for election of vice president.
I nominate Mark Burkhart.
Nomination for Mark, do I have a second?
Second.
Mark, do you accept this nomination?
I do.
Are there any other nominations? Having heard none, take a vote to elect Mark vice president. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Next is Amber, secretary. I need a nomination for secretary.
So.
For Amber. Do I have a second?
Second.
Are there any other nominations for secretary? Having heard none, oppose the nominations. All in favor of Amber as secretary, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Welcome aboard, Amber. I didn't give you a chance to see you do it.
I'll do it.
One thing real quick, I'd like everybody to silence all electronic devices, please, and then stand for the pledge.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Time being 7:18, we will start the public hearing. Chris?
Yes, so just to give overview to the board and as well as the audience that is here, this public hearing is related to a request for voluntary annexation of property owned by Christian and Karen Russ, located at 1200 South County Road 60 East. To give a brief overview, there's two methods for voluntary annexation of the statutes in Indiana. There is one in which the property being annexed, the annexed area, the signatures on the petition are 51% of the overall property owners in that area. The second method for a voluntary annexation is a voluntary annexation in which 100% of the property owners in the annexed area are requesting the annexation. That is the nature of this particular request because Karen and Christian are the only owners of the property and they are seeking the petition. At this level, the Planning Commission is really making a recommendation to the council, the legislative body, who will make the ultimate determination as to the acceptance of that petition. There's very limited legal basis to not accept a petition, and it is generally only applicable to the 51%. So the item that can be reviewed by the Decatur County Circuit Court or Superior Court with regard to an annexation is whether or not the 100% voluntary annexation was in fact contiguous property, which contiguous property is defined by property that is surrounded by a certain percentage of other areas of the city. I would note simply that the current requested voluntary annexation area is contiguous, is fully surrounded by the city of Greensburg inside the border of the boundary limits. So, but that's up to them to present that to whomever wishes to do it. The second thing that the Plan Commission recommends to the council, who ultimately makes the decision, is the appropriate level of zoning for a property that is being annexed into the city. That is specified in the UDO that was recently completed and adopted, and it specifically states that any annexed property that is being included into the boundaries of the city of Greensburg must go through a zoning recommendation, which is where this body is going to ultimately make a recommendation. The recommendation can be a specific zoning, or it can be either a favorable recommendation for the zoning requested, or an unfavorable recommendation for a zoning requested, or no recommendation whatsoever, in which case you are just leaving it to the council to make that recommendation. Additionally, I would just say in terms of decorum and rules, all Plan Commission hearings generally have a specified amount of time that anyone wishing to speak and present their position is allotted. So I would ask you, Mr. President, we normally do 3 minutes. Is that what you wish to do today?
Be consistent with previous meetings, 3 minutes.
The presenter, the petitioner will be allowed slightly more time simply because they have additional information that may be beneficial for all of you to hear. It will not be forever.
Mr. Stephen, I
Yes?
need you and all board members to speak into your microphones so the public can hear what you're saying. Thank you.
Okay, I'm happy to do so. Is that better?
Yes.
Bill, it's the first time you've told me that I'm not loud enough. So, all right. So, as I was saying, the comment section, or the presentation section will be limited to 3 minutes per person. I will notify you when that 3 minute has expired, so please don't take offense when I tell you. I'm just letting you know that your time has concluded. Additionally, the individual or the people requesting the variation or the petition have very little impact on the overall determination legally of whether or not the voluntary annexation should or should not occur. So if your intention is to simply air grievances, then I would say that that is probably not relevant, and I suspect the board would ask you to stick to the relevant issues for everyone today. That being said, you will also be asked to provide your name and address when you approach the microphone to speak. That is so that we can have an accurate record of whom spoke and know who, in fact, who presented the evidence. Everything is being recorded. Video of this will also be uploaded to the City of Greensburg website, as all public hearings and meetings are. So, with that, if you are ready to proceed.
Ready to proceed. At this time, I would ask that Christian or representatives come up and give us an overview of what the plan is. Once again, please speak your name and address for the record.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the Plan Commission. Good evening. My name is Mindy Westbrook-Brown. I'm an attorney at the law firm Gregory Drinker with an office at 300 North Meridian Street, Suite 2500. It's in Indianapolis, Indiana 46204. Here tonight, presenting for the petitioners for the voluntary annexation at 1200 South County Road 60 East in Greensburg, representing Christian and Karen Brest. Want to open up with some comments to level set at this beginning of this year, and appreciate Chris's comments to open us up. But we believe there's a benefit to this annexation to the city of Greensburg. We believe there was new of the annexation is moot as this property meets the contiguous requirements, involves just one property owner, and is voluntary, providing benefits to the city. What we do think is the heart of this hearing is the proper zoning classification recommendation for this property in order for development. And so before I get into that point, I want to also state that the rest wish to be good neighbors. So we appreciate the public coming out here tonight. We appreciate their feedback. I'm going to be requesting, I know the city staff is not supportive of a continuance. At a minimum, we hope that you will consider tabling this request so that we can provide more information. Our law firm was retained on Friday of last week, and with just 3 days with the file, we think it's really important for us to have a chance to work with Sarah and Chris and others on city staff to give more robust information to you all and have more detailed petition before you. So I want to address some of the comments and concerns that we've heard, and I also want to let you all know that we intend to prepare written commitments. And so those would be written so the remonstrators here could see what those commitments for the property are. They would be notarized, they would be submitted to you all and be part of the vote or recommendation for council. And then should they be accepted, those would be recorded with the county recorder. They would run the property card on the deed and be enforceable by the city. So as applications for construction permits and other things are needed, the city would have a chance to enforce any of those commitments that we're willing to agree to. So let me tell you a little bit of, we are requesting R4. And we know that there are some uses, some standards in R4 that there are some remonstrators that are concerned with. And so that's where we want to make our commitments to you all. We have no intention of developing the property for multifamily use. We would commit to no multifamily. A manufactured home park would require a special use exception, so there are some protections there, but nonetheless, we commit to no manufactured home park as well. But R4 is needed for the development that we're looking to do. We think that senior housing is needed in the community. We think there's marketability for developers, potential buyers for senior housing. We'd like to model development off of Crown Point. Crown Point is zoned R4. Duplexes for senior housing that have the look and feel of Crown Point need R4. It doesn't make sense for us to come here before you all and ask for voluntary annexation and not have appropriate zoning classification. It would only make sense for us to come before you at one time, not piecemeal this. And so we would likely at this time, without having kind of more information or something that's not consistent with our vision for the property, likely withdraw a voluntary annex petition. So that's why we think it's really important that we table this, we get it right, we show you all the information that you needed to have a vote on this. We're also final land use plan in Greensburg comprehensive plan shows future land use for this property as institutional. Additionally, the future transportation map in the comprehensive plan shows Millhausen Road as a minor arterial road classification. We believe that this can handle any new traffic from the proposed development. We think the property has been properly planned for with the city infrastructure available. I'd like to also speak to the status of the home on the property. So at this time, the house doesn't demonstrate any structural damage, it's not dilapidated, it's not a fire hazard, it's not infested, we're not aware of any code violations in the report, it's not in a state to be condemned at this time. And so we think bringing this property into the city makes sense, new tax revenue, potential for senior housing in the neighborhood, we think is really valuable. So almost done here. To reiterate Chris's points, we'd also just, for the record, like to make a request that any comments be given here tonight stick to the annexation and zoning request before you. We appreciate the work that you all do. And again, just to re-up my request for tabling this for next month to give us time to work as a community, be responsive to the neighbors' concerns, work with city staff, I think is absolutely necessary to bring this best case forward. Also, this annexation hasn't been introduced to council, so we think that it makes the most sense to have the introduction, then have the plan commission meeting, and then the final vote at council. So my closing remarks are just that if the chair and the commission will entertain with approval of the city attorney, I would like to respectfully request some time to close after hearing the neighbors' comments and providing rebuttal evidence. I can keep my comments strong.
No, and you'll also be given an opportunity during the public meeting to present that as well. So you will have an opportunity to speak again during the public. So, and what I would note to the commission members is there's a difference statutorily and legally between the continuance and the tabling. The continuance of a hearing for zoning is permitted, but it is also a situation in which, we can hear all the evidence and then you can make a determination to table the ultimate decision at the meeting itself. So it's just it's a slightly different way to skin the cat, I guess, but it also allows the opportunity for the individuals that are here at the public hearing to still present their evidence and make that record, and then we can proceed forward at the table. You would table it at the public meeting as opposed to the public hearing.
Thank you. This time I'd ask anybody from the audience who might come up and speak, and keep in mind, keep it 3 minutes. Let's need this addressed with the microphone, state your name and address for the record, and your statement.
My name is Erin McCullough, and we live at 814 East Mill Creek Road South. We bought our house in 2012. We put a lot of money into that house, and we have plans to put more into it. But my attitude about it is, what's the point? If this piece of land is going to be annexed and rezoned as R4, I will have to probably sell my house. My house will have to be sold at a loss because property values will go down when this is rezoned and built on. All of our property values will go down unless what is built on this land is at our level. The houses are very nice up here, and I have serious doubts that whatever is built will be as nice as what we're trying to protect. I moved from town because of crime and the quality of my neighbors. And I feel like if this is rezoned and apartments are built here, we will have to deal with more crime. We do not want to have another Briarwood or Windermere that's right across the street. Let's face it, people do not take care of what is not theirs. That's why most rental properties end up in disrepair. R4 rezoning is a pretty vague zoning. There could be apartments built there, there could be a trailer park in. I think it's pretty safe to say that everyone in this room that lives in and around this area does not want this. There are many people that live in Mill Ridge that are not in the state right now that could not be here at this meeting, and we have been tasked to speak for these people. The traffic alone will be a nightmare. Millhausen Road was not meant to handle that much traffic. There's also a blind hill there right before Mill Ridge. This will be a very dangerous intersection for local people and people traveling down that road to get into town. This in turn will make it more dangerous for the kids walking home into Mill Ridge after school. There is not always a crossing guard there to keep the kids safe. I was told that the development group doing the building was the same group that was going to revamp Lake McCoy. Well, now you see where that went, nowhere. And this company that was going to work at Lake McCoy was already paid $120,000 by taxpayers for this project that never came to fruition. In conclusion, please vote no for the annexing and the rezoning. We all pay high property taxes to have some peace and quiet and to live in a nice neighborhood. Nobody here wants this mess.
Anyone else? Nope, she beat you to it.
I'm sorry.
Her hand went up faster.
Good evening. My name is Marie Geringer, and I live at 1212 West Rebecca Parkway. Why put annexation and rezoning in the same petition? What is the plan? Who knows what it is? Somebody knows. And she said possibly duplexes, senior duplexes. But with the track record, we know that could change. Future use R4 is very vague. There is an error on the petition. It does not list the petitioner's current address as Carmel. According to Karen Russ' Facebook page, she moved to Carmel December 31st, 2024. Since then, she began working for Envoy on January 6th, which happens to be the company that Christian paid $120,000 of Washington Township taxpayer money to before it failed project.
Please stick to the
Okay, so if
annexation
Christian,
and rezoning.
yes, if Christian and Karen's petitions go through, there's indeed a plan for residential. Another step will be putting in utilities. This should be at their expense, but they could cut a deal with the city. And because of that deal, we could see an increase in cost of utilities to the taxpayers due to infrastructure costs to every resident of the city, yet again. Additionally, there will likely be a tax abatement request, which gives the petitioners a write-off while expecting the rest of the taxpayers of the city to pick up the tab for the shortfall in the property tax. I have seen firsthand the results of the planning of Christian, and I can tell you most of it is not good. So I ask that you please deny the petition and just eliminate the chance of another failed project. Thank you for your time.
Ma'am, would you please spell your last name?
Geringer, Garringer.
Good evening. My name is Charles Simmons. I live at 821 East Mill Creek Road South, Greensburg, and as part of Missouri States. I am representing we have a petition with 106 signatures from the Mill Ridge Estates. We have put together a list of concerns that we have for this state project. So basically, we'll read this. List of concerns of Mill Ridge Estates as the future development of the property in question. Number one we have is safety and security. This is a current concern about Millhausen Road, I'm sorry. In this area, we have a blind traffic coming up that hill. Speed of the traffic coming through that area is excessive above the speed limit. These will be exacerbated by increased traffic due to R4 zoning. Millhausen Road is not designed for heavy traffic. Point B, school children in school zones. St. Mary's students crossing Millhausen Road, entering Mill Ridge Estates, will be put at a greater risk. We're also concerned about the potential of unwanted visitors that will also put children at risk. Number two, changing the current aesthetics of the area. This is a high-value, single-family R1 zone. We are concerned about the impact of the value of our properties and homes. Number 3, demographic of the population that will be residing in an R4 zone, i.e. an apartment, which we also would consider a safety issue. Number 4, if the potential developer for this property is Envoy Fishers in Indiana, we would be very concerned and not in favor. Number 5, we wish to see this property zoned R1. And I don't know if you'd like us to present this petition to you.
You can make it part of the record if that's your intention.
Okay, so,
We'll take it.
okay.
Thank you.
My wife wants to line the deck.
Anyone else would like to speak?
Hello, I'm Jody Westerfeld. I reside at 820 East Mill Creek Road South. And I am here to talk to you all about the process of the annexation. I respect it, and I humbly ask that you keep in 3 demographics of this project. The first is St. Mary's and the children there. As you all know, there are a multitude of ages, not only at the school, but also the preschool. You also should consider the parishioners in the area and focus on their safety. Number 2, Millridge Estates and the other properties that are adjacent. We live in this area, we pay high property taxes, as you have all heard, and we would like to keep the neighborhood in the same conformity, and we wish that to be an R1. And lastly, the senior population. I come before you, the daughter of a handicapped senior, so I can tell you the location of senior housing is important. Location of that is at the forefront of placement whenever you go to decide. Think about how busy Mohawken Road is, and think about if you want your loved one on that busy road. I can tell you I wouldn't want my dad there. Unfortunately, he needs access to emergency personnel immediately, the hospital, doctors, and actually the interstate too, for his appointments to larger facilities. Luckily, all seniors don't need those amenities. Congratulations to those seniors who don't, but I can promise you my dad is not an anomaly in that population. He's actually normal, just like a lot of the other ones. So I think if you take a step back and you look at those 3 demographics, I think the writing is on the wall for the zoning and that to remain R1. Thank you.
Anyone else?
Good evening, my name is Jackie Mitchell. I live at 1339 South County Road 60 East. So I am one driveway south of this proposed development. I'm kind of a guy that's all about individual property rights, so I'm sensitive to that. But my concern is that if this goes forward, I just want the city to understand you're going to have some serious infrastructure expenses, particularly on Millhausen Road. There's been comments about this blind hill. I don't know if you guys have seen the little yellow line on this blind hill. I did that. I told them to send me a bill for it, and they didn't, which was very kind. But I had a daughter who was getting ready to drive, and I've been there for 14 years, and I can't count the amount of times that I have come across a vehicle on the wrong side of the road. And so that's why I asked to have this yellow line put on it. Frankly, it needs to be repainted. Again, I'm sensitive to Christian's petition. I am sensitive to our property rights and values, and but more than anything, I'm concerned about safety. We've got a drag strip through there. Everyone runs too quickly. I used to have the sheriff come out there and sit, and obviously you can't have someone out there full time. But this hill is a problem, and unless you guys want to get your checkbook out and make it right, or make it a condition of the project, then please keep that in mind, okay? So that's what I wanted to just say. And you guys cost me from watching the girls' basketball game tonight. Thank you.
Anyone else?
Ryan Waltman, 1521 South Hunters Drive, Village Estates. Family's fairly young family, got 4 boys that live in our addition. Village has been great for us. Everyone is, it's like they are our own little community over there. Our 4 boys attend St. Mary's Catholic School, and we drop them off in the mornings, they walk home in the afternoons. My wife and I have some major concerns with the safety, what this may do in that area. I don't know if any of you all have been over that area at 2:45 when school lets out. Good luck cutting through there. Traffic's backed up all the way to 421 and all the way to Millhausen Road for pickup lines. And they're running 2 lines. This is an everyday occurrence. So probably sound like a beaten drum, I can speak probably for everybody sitting in this room, as most of us know each other. It's the same concerns. The infrastructure is not there. The aesthetics of the location, and then you have a private Catholic school right there that our children attend. We just have major concerns with this project.
Anyone else?
Scott Mangles, 919 East Southbridge Drive. I live right across from the property. I'd like to follow Mr. Walsman. He's a former student and very well stated, and making us look good. Again, I'm just going to restate, you're all aware of the situation. It needs to be an R1. We have a school in the area. We have high traffic issues. If you look at the car count on Millhausen Road, it's exceptionally high. This is an R1 area, and that's what we're requesting tonight. Thank you.
Sandy Neiman, 206 East County Road 300 South. I would just like to speak to the traffic issue. Since a couple of years ago, they widened Millhausen Road, and that has increased the semi-truck traffic on that road fourfold. They don't go slow. A lot of times, they're cutting across and hitting 421 there. That's a huge concern. And as well, when you pull out onto 421 from the Millhausen Road, the speed limit there is 40 miles an hour. That's a little fast, and there's not a lot of time to pull out with all of the incoming and outgoing traffic from Honda and all the other factories and workers in town. And lawyer, and I apologize, I didn't get her name, addressed that she felt like the roads around there were efficient. They are not. They are not. And I just want to speak to that increased farm truck traffic through that area. Thank you.
Is there anyone else who'd like to speak? Seeing no hands in the air, seeing no one gets up, I would take a motion to close the public hearing. Mark, make the motion, have a second? 10 seconds. All in favor of closing the public hearing, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Public hearing is closed. All right, today is Tuesday, February 4th, the time being 7:49 p.m. The meeting of the Plan Commission is called to order. At this time, please silence all electronic devices. To comply with Title VI of the Civil Rights Act of 1964, the city requests that participants in this meeting complete a voluntary anonymous survey that is available on the table in the back of the room. We will pass over roll call since we've already had it. We were all mailed minutes of our previous meeting. Do we have any additions or corrections to those minutes? Having heard nothing, I will accept those minutes as presented. And old business, we have none. New business is the item Christian and Care Rest are seeking zoning for potential voluntary annexation of property located at 1200 South County Road 60 East. Mindy, is it still your request to table this?
Yes.
Okay. This time I accept a motion to table this petition.
So moved.
I have a second. Let's see, Alan made it. I have a second. Rodney. All in favor of tabling this petition, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. It is tabled. Sarah, do you have anything potentially for next month?
Yes. We will be meeting next month.
Okay. Is there any other business the board would like to speak to? Having heard none, I take a motion to adjourn. Have a second.
Second.
All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Gentlemen, we're done.